The Alters asks a question. If we could choose to take a different path in our life, a different branch, would we? That's something I and Jan Dolsky must grapple with as we're thrown into a life-threatening situation all alone, with the rest of the crew dead.
The capsules. Wait.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I lied.
What? No. That's impossible. They can't all be.
And an empty mobile base as the nearby sun threatens to incinerate Jan. Thrown into an emergency when the base itself breaks down.
Whoa. What just happened?
Yay, we broke things. We're forced to create a sheep and then an altar of ourselves to survive.
Oh. Of course. What else?
It's a sheep. Aww. Look, he's got a number 3. We had a number 1.
Hey there. Wow. Hello? Can you hear me?
Of course, the newest Jan isn't so pleased to learn that he's a clone with a probable fake life.
What if there was no malfunction? Where would I be?
Yeah, I can't answer that. Wow. I guess we'd say you'd still exist somewhere.
You'd still exist somewhere?
Theoretically. He's not gonna like that, but there's no good answer here.
Theoretically? Wow. You bastard. I can see now what the meds are for.
Yet, even after fixing up the base and patching up with Jan over pierogi, fate isn't done with me yet.
Great. A serving of dehydrated dumplings completely changed my outlook on the situation. I feel so optimistic about life now.
Though mobile, the base is stopped by obstacles that threaten to slow the Dolskys down until the sun finds us. Yay! That's bad.
This is not good.
Yeah, that's bad. Forced to create more altars of ourselves, the base rapidly begins to come alive, leading to more demands and more resources.
Hey, how are you feeling? Well, I'll be damned. Where am I? What is this?
Things went wrong, but I'm sorry. Yet every time I feel safe, the game throws a new curveball to put those seemingly plentiful resources under strain. And then we'll just make sure it's in there, because I don't think it'll assign it automatically. Magnetic storm? What? Oh dear.
Shit. What the hell was that?
That's not the worst of it, as I must navigate and survive multiple threats to our well-being from anomalies. We also have to make sure our alters stay stable and alive, as they're just as human as we are and have different issues from their own lives. Oh shoot. It ended up hitting us and giving us some radiation dose, so yeah. That's the issues, you kinda gotta lead it one way and then the other, huh? The Alters is an interesting experience brought forth by 11-bit Studios. It asks the player what they're willing to do to survive, even if it means creating and using alternative versions of themselves. Will I be able to look after them? Can we outrun the sun that threatens us? Can I make it back to Earth alive with my alters intact? And with enough rupidium to make the mission worthwhile? For me, the game has been a delightful experience. It gives you enough room to find your footing before tossing situations your way that puts you under pressure without breaking you. It also gives you multiple ways to solve some problems, allowing players a few key choices that they themselves can make. For example, I needed to create polymers to solve a critical objective. These had to be made in the refinery, but my botanist alter proposed asking Lena, our ex-wife, for help.
She's a biotechnician, for crying out loud, and here we are struggling with those polymers. I bet she could tell us how to do it better.
After my botanist alter patched up my relationship with her, I acquired an alternative recipe to make polymers in my greenhouse. Yet, even the smallest choices that seem inconsequential can have a reverberating effect, and a seemingly nice or benign choice at the time might bring great rewards or unexpected doom. You know what? Why don't we play a little more beer pong? It takes an hour. We have time. Oh, what's happening? Why am I seeing a notification? Oh no! no! Each altar feels like they have their own personality, their own lives, their own interests. It'll be up to the player to manage and juggle all of this while striving to race against the sun, while also choosing which altars to make over others, as there's a limit. Yet, can I trust those who are helping me, or should we trust only ourselves? Agendas play out in the background while I try to survive, and there's no guarantee that our return home will be a welcoming one.
But that's... No, that's crazy.
Do you read detective stories, Jan? The culprit always needs to have two things. A motive and a means.
For those who enjoyed past 11-bit studio games that have a mix of survival and social management, the altars bring both to the table with growing resource management, limited space, and a little action as you mine, research, explore, and fight to outpace the sun and see yourselves and the mission saved. If you have the interest in time, I'd recommend the altars as a decent management/exploration simulator and a thought-provoking game on the different paths you could have taken in life. It has the delightful music we know and love, with the difficulty that keeps you working and thinking. By this point, I'm wrapping up Act 2 of the game, and I'm sure Act 3 will throw in a new curveball that puts my seemingly plentiful, yet dreadful situation under strain once again. I'd give the altars an 8 out of 10, as it's a solid experience with good creativity. There's a bit of repetitive dialogue as you're caring for the altars, but it reflects the humanity and depressive circumstances they're in. While there's always room for improvement and bug fixing, the only immersion-breaking one I experienced was when the music stopped playing for a whole day and deprived me of my Piotr musical needs.
Did you manage to
He's
recreate
facing
the
away.
blueprints? Believe it or not.
Oh
I
no, I bugged it. I bugged it. Thanks for listening, and I hope this review has improved ourselves' opinion on the altars.